Hello and welcome all. For ASM 6, I have decided to code Doom. Just kidding. I actually did something much more exciting. A number guessing game. So if you've never encountered a game like this, I'll give you the rundown. In my version, it chooses a random number between 0, 50, 100, or 1,000. Or easy, medium, and hard, each of which can be chosen by the player. The player will have to keep guessing until they get it right, after which they will be asked if they'd like to play again. Now, to get into the nitty-gritty, under the .data section of the code, I have 16 different strings declared, all of which will be displayed at different points in the game. Since we had no instruction limitations, I used li and move a lot in the code because it's a lot more simple than using addi or add. A lot of the code is just printing out messages. So the first part, I welcome the player, and then I print a new line. There are 3 different loops in the code, and I'll go over each one of them as they show up. Firstly, we have the outermost loop, which I have labeled game loop. It allows the player to select a difficulty, 1 being easy, 2 being medium, and 3 being hard. I then use 3 branch equal statements, each of which handling 1, 2, or 3. 1 branches to set easy, 2 branches to set medium, and 3 branches to set hard. Easy sets the upper limit of the random number generator to 50, medium sets it to 100, and hard sets it to 1,000. It then prompts the player to start guessing a number between 0 and whatever upper bound was set. The code then jumps into its first nested loop, which I've named guess loop, because why not? This loop starts out by reading the user's input, then it increments the attempt counter, followed by 3 branch statements. The first being a branch equals, the second being branch less than, and the third one being a branch greater than. The branch equals checks if they found the number, the branch less than checks if the number they've chosen is too low, and the branch greater than checks if the number they chose was too high. If the number was too low, it prints out that it was too low. If the number was too high, it prints out that it was too high. But if it's found, it actually starts the end of the game, at least in the code. So when the number that they chose was correct, it congratulates them and tells them that they've guessed it. It'll tell them the number that they guessed. It'll also tell them how many times it took them to get to that number. And then it will prompt them to see if they would like to play the game again. If they say capital Y, that means yes, I'd like to play again. But if they put capital N, the game just exit. And if they put anything else, the code will just loop until they put either the capital Y or the capital N. This is the last loop in the game. When the player decides they'd like to play again, it will jump to the new game label, reset the attempt counter, and then restart the game. To whoever had to watch this, thank you for doing so, and have a great summer. And here's a picture of my dog.